Hannah? Live! Every time it's blinking chaos. Every single time. Just have a random conversation like 5 seconds before we're supposed to go live. Usually with Hannah, not going to lie. Anyway, welcome to your third hour of your Scan and Cut today on a Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 8, 12 and 6 we do Scan and Cut shows. So we've got a new download for you tonight as well that wasn't on this morning. We're going to do some paper piecing because we've still got some paper piecing kits left. Result, that's good. So if you're coming in from work, you can pop one in your basket and get that checked out. And then we might do some foiling and cutting. So we'll do some different stuff for you. But first of all, let me introduce you to the team. I'm Mel. I'm going to be your presenter for the hour. We've got Becky on cameras. We've got Hannah producing. Hello! And also doing comments at the same time, right? Yes. Brilliant. So we've got a great all-female team tonight. Andrew's gone home. Has he gone home?
He is currently on the A1.
He's on the A1. Ooh, I don't miss that trip, I'm not going to lie.
I've had my normal, I'm in the car, talk to me phone call from him.
Have you? Brilliant.
Every time.
Fabulous. Right, so you can watch us on YouTube. You can also watch us on Facebook, Instagram, and on our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. If you're going to shop on either of our social platforms, all you need to do is type shop and then the code for the product that we give you. So it's super, super easy. You don't need to go away from watching us to go to a different website to find the product, to put it in your basket, to check it out. You can literally shop while you watch, which is fabulous. Then once you've popped something into your basket, we're going to send you a message. And in that message, there will be a link and you're going to click that link to check out. Now, when you click that link, it'll take you to highlightcrafts.com. It's really important that you log in to your account because that means that you get the extra benefits of being a member of Club Highlight, which you automatically get when you open an account with us, which is free. Okay, so it's free for an account. It's free to join the club, which is fantastic. But it means that you get extra discount, loyalty points for every £1 that you spend, and on a basket spend over £35 you get free postage. So it's all the good stuff, which is fantastic. If you want to shop with us on our website, which is highlightcrafts.com, if you click on the live, watch us live, it will come up and we will play. Excellent. Then you're going to get all the products down the side of your screen and all you're going to do is add the products that you would like to add to your basket. A little red shopping bag will appear at the top of your screen, and when you're ready to check out, click on that and that will take you to that login page. Log in and check out. Now, there's something else that you can do. If you go into highlightcrafts.com, on the home page there's a banner that says shop today's deals. So you can go on there and you see all the deals in all the shows for that day. So you can build a basket and pick and mix, if you like the best pick and mix in the world. You can literally drop in the items that you would like to buy. So if you're struggling to get to that free shipping threshold, literally pop on there, drop something in your basket and we're good to go. Because you're always going to use it, aren't you? If it's tape or card or whatever, we're always going to use it. Right, so got a lot to get through in this hour, so I'm going to start with the brand new downloads that we've launched today. I'm going to start with the steampunk one here, and then we'll go to the new tattered lace ones. Now, we asked last week, we were asked if we were going to do the stencils from tattered lace as SVG files. That's what we're launching. But first of all, we've also launched this for you. So Craftmaster is our tool brand. And now, whenever we do stencils, we convert them to SVG files too. So you can either buy the physical stencil that we literally cut next door on the laser, which is super exciting, or if you've got a scan and cut, you can cut your own. Now, the joy of cutting your own means that you can just do a smaller version, you can do a larger version. So you're in charge of the scale of that design. Also, you can do all sorts of different things with them. So although they're called stencils, and they cut and they'll cut into mylar and you can use it as a stencil. These are drawing files, embossing files, foiling, paper piecing. Some of them would even work with your rhinestone kit. All of those different accessory kits that we bring you that you build up, if that's what you choose to do, are going to work with these. And I love this. Also, when you're cutting your own stencils, you can keep some of the pieces and mask off. So you can use the main pieces to mask off. So if you're inking or spritzing or painting or whatever you're going to do with them, paste, you can mask off because you've got all those waste bits. So let's talk to you about what you're getting on this download then. So instant downloads. All you need to do is literally pay for it, download it, it will sit in your account, and then you can either pop it onto your USB or send it via the cloud to your machine. It's entirely up to you. So you're going to get all of these designs. You're also going to get all of these. Now, some of them you've got the matte layers for them as well. So you can put that inside there and cut it out if you want. I showed you how to do that earlier, but you can do it with this shape as well if that's what you want to do. You've got your hourglass, which I actually really like that as a shape card because you could score it through the middle, and you've got a stand card, which has just prompted me to think, you know what, that would be a really good class for the next club. Talk to you about the club in a bit. So you've got all of these. Remember, we've got vinyl as well on the show. Now, this will be different for vinyl because you would cut it using your weeding box, make your weeding box a little bit bigger, and instead of using all these pieces, you could use the negative. So you could get 2 out of 1, which would be really cool. So you're getting all of these designs. It's very steampunk based. We just took all of the ones that we had and went, right, you know what, we're going to put them all in one download. Now, the code for this is steampunk, so all you need to do is type in the comments shop steampunk, and that will pop that into a basket for you. You've got all the backgrounds, and what we've done is given you one that's absolutely pristine and then one that's a little bit more shabby. So we've got something for everybody's taste, which I really like. Or you could cut these two, turn one and have it back to back so it looks a little bit different. And then you've also got all of these pieces here. So super, super exciting. If you love your steampunk, if you're into your stencils or drawing or embossing or foiling or all those amazing things that we do with Scan and Cut, Shop Steampunk will get you that one for $24.99. Right, I'm now going to jump to these because these are our new ones from Tattered Lace. So these are the ones that we bought you last week. So you've got your different designs on here. Now, we didn't launch these this morning because I wanted to make sure that they tested the files and they're all good. There were some that were just too fine. And there's no point having a stencil that's too fine because even if you try with ink and a blending brush, you're not going to get anything through there. So we've made the lines work with the Scan and Cut. So you're going to get all of these 5 designs on here. And I like the Best Wishes because you've got the same sentiment but in 2 different styles, which is really cool. You've got that lovely bow in there as well, which, as you know by now, if we take it into Canvas Workspace, you could get rid of these tails and just have that part of the bow. You could take just the inside there and join those together to make a butterfly. That would be cool. So you're getting those, and you're also going to get these. So you've got your lovely fuchsia, your High Glam 01, which is that lovely butterfly with that flourish. You've then got your shoe. That's definitely a Carter Bar shoe. I ain't walking anywhere in those heels. Then you've got your majestic larkspur, and you've got your owl in there as well, which is fab. So you're getting all of those. The code for that is shop owl. I'm thinking owl. Shop owl, $12.99. Now, if you want to see, there's an owl in this one as well, which is confusing me.
That has thrown me. I put the wrong graphics on to start with.
Okay, so this is glam, right? Is this glam? Is it this way then? Is it those together and the owls separately?
No, there's one with 2 owls on.
Yeah, so that's glam.
Oh,
That's
now
owls.
I'm even more confused.
What does the picture show me? I should know. That's all in the prep, you see. Those are owls.
Those 2 look like they're together from what I can
I
see.
think so too.
Yes,
Right,
you are
so
correct.
there we go. Start again. Listen, if you want slick, you don't come here. I'm just saying. Hannah, can we put the aircon on? I'm melting again, please. Personal summers. This is not funny, right? So let's start that again, shall we? Welcome to live shopping here at Highlight Crafts. Right, so you're going to get these 5.
That does not match the picture.
Oh, what's the picture?
Corners with 2 owls. Corners with 2 owls.
That's an owl and that's an owl.
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Right, those, like
I think what's
that. Like that. So shoe and bees this is horrendous. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Shoe and standy up bees. That's standy up bees. And then these. 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 That's standdy 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 up bees. And then and that's a shoe. Yes, that's now correct.
Right. This is which though?
The one with the shoes on the baby's glam.
Right.
And
that's Owl. Brilliant. Right. You know what? I'm going to do this.
Are the ones that threw it. Sorry, everyone.
Because there's owls in both. That's why.
Naughty owls.
Right, and now Becky's looking confused now.
It's on the next image.
Right, do you know what? Me and you are going to come over here and do some paper piercing while they sort this out.
I think it's under the
I don't get
circle,
this.
So I don't think you can quite see it, but I'm sure it's an L.
No? Yes? Maybe? Possibly? Right, come with me.
Yeah.
Right, come with me and we're going to do some paper piercing while we sort this out, because that's boring, isn't it? Right, let's have a look at this then. So, paper piercing. Now then, you're going to get a kit. Chaos. Chaos, chaos. Right, so, let's do this, shall we? We'll get there in the end. Right, in your paper piercing starter kit, you're going to get quite a lot of really cool stuff. So, I went to Brother a few years ago and went, can we do paper piercing? And they were like, what for? I said, because if you do parchment craft and you want all those beautiful little dots, or if you're a scan and cut user, when you get dies, sometimes you get dies and they've got that really beautiful pin dot detail, haven't they? And they're lovely. And we could never replicate that because the machine never did that, just going up and down. It did that, rotated, met itself, came back up. So we needed the machine. They needed to do an update, which was done, and you won't even have realised it. And you've got the needle now that goes up and down, and that's what we needed it to do. So we got past that stage, and then they went, right, what do you want the mat to look like? I said, well, it needs to be a mat where it's got like this black mat on that they can put the card onto or the vellum onto, but it needs to be sturdy, and I need it to be black. And they went, why? I said, well, because if I want to scan something in, like my vellum, so if I've designed something on my vellum and embossed it and I want to cut it out, so what they've done is they've made it black, and they've also made it so that you can cut on it, which is brilliant, right? So you don't have to take it off to do another one, but you can still scan in. So if you've got something on a very pale background, maybe you've bought some printed vellum and there's certain elements that you want to cut out, you can scan it in on this and then it will see it because you're working white on black. So that was the thing. Right, now then, also in your kit, when you get your kit, so you get the mat with this on. Don't try and take this off because it's not meant to come off, all right? So you get that. Then you're also going to get this holder. Okay, so this holder changes everything because it means that now the barcode on the back means that it relates to the paper piercing. And you're also going to get a 0.8mm needle and a 0.4mm needle. They both come with these caps on because they are super sharp. Okay, so just be careful, keep these on at all times. And all you do is unscrew the lid, put it on so the 0.8 is facing forward like that, so it all lines up with Brother. And then you're just going to screw this top on. And this is brilliant. I love this. I think it's really cool. Now, also in your kit, you're going to get an activation card. Now, that will give you different designs. So let me just go into here and bring up and show you the designs. Now, something I forgot to mention last week, which was my bad, was that you can't resize these designs, okay, paper piercing, just like you can't resize your rhinestone, because if you resize a rhinestone one, it makes the circles bigger. If you try and resize a dot, it can't do it because it doesn't know what to do because it's a line, not a shape. So you can use all of these patterns, and they're actually scaled for card fronts, so that works. And if I just click on that, it will show you all the different ones that you can do. However, you can also do paper piercing with any shape. So if you took a snowflake from inside the machine's memory, you could make that paper pierce. If you've done a drawing, you can make that paper pierce, which is super exciting. So although you're getting all of these, you can do many, many, many more things with these. And there's some beautiful ones in here. So you know what? For what you get, it's absolutely worth every penny, even though you can't resize them, in my opinion. So you're going to get that. You get your mat, you get your 2 tools, and you get the holder. Okay, so Shop Paper is going to get you this today for $76.99. then you take your club discount off, you're going to get your points back and there'll be no shipping. So a little top tip for you that I found is a little bit of stencil spray on the back of your card. Please, please, please don't spray that. Spray this. Okay, we don't want spray anywhere near this, because if you get glue down there and your rollers stick, you're in trouble. Right, so quick squirt. That's all it needs. And the reason I'm doing this is because when I first started using the paper piercing kit, I found that as it was going, as the needle was going into the mat and coming up like that, as it went down, it was great. As it came up, it wanted to almost pull that cardstock up. And I ended up with some places that were really evenly pierced and then some places that weren't. So adding your stencil spray, and you really, literally, you can't really feel it at all. It's just a small amount. And then you're going to pop that onto that mat. Now the mat is already tacky. This is just a top tip from me, because I found, and you might not find it with yours, but I found it with mine, that as it comes out, it wants to pull. Okay, so we're just a little bit of extra precaution. Right, so let's create a design now, just using the basic shapes that are inside the machine's memory. So let's go into here and we'll start with a square. So we'll bring on a square this time, and we're just going to set that on the mat. I'm just going to put my cutting area back to here because I changed it. I've been working in here since we came off air. Then I'm going to add, and let's bring on a heart this time. Let's do a different shape this time. So we'll scroll down until we find the hearts, and we'll add one of these. And I love this kit. I think it's absolutely fabulous. Let's have that one. Okay, so we're going to set that. Right, so let's deal with the outside first, and then we can deal with the inside after. So we're going to go to edit because we're changing it, and we're changing the object. So we click on that. We're going to resize this, and we'll do this at, let's do it at 170. Okay, so that's my outside edge. That is going to cut. Then what I want is an inward offset line of that. So if you're working, now this, I need to tell you, the paper piercing kit is for SDX only. You can't use this because this mat is too thick. The black polymer is thick, but it needs to be that thick, and it hits the scanner unit at the back. So this is SDX only because you can lift the lever and lift the back rollers on here. Should have mentioned that at the beginning, sorry. Right, so we'll do an inward offset line, which means we need to take this to a negative. So let's do one at 2 millimeters and press OK. It will always keep the original selected. So now if we go in and we'll do, let's do 4.5. Let's do 4.5 inside there. Right, so I've now got 3 lines. The one outside one, which I'm going to keep for cutting, and I'm going to mess about with these now. So we're going to select the next one. I don't want the heart yet. I want the middle line. So then what we're going to do is go to Object Edit and click on the piercing function and switch the dot on. You can set the distance in spacing between the dots. That's how good it is. So we're going to press OK. Right, I want to do the same on the next one. So we'll work for the next one down, go back to Object Edit, put the paper piecing on and press on. Now, if you group everything together, if you want all 3 lines paper pierce, you can group it together and put one on, and it'll do all of them at the same time. But because I want that one to cut and the one inside, the 2 inside to paper pierce, I'm doing them separately. The other thing you need to remember to do, which I always forget and I shouldn't do because I should know better, is to, when you go onto your home screen at the beginning, there's a little spanner in the corner. Click on that, go to Premium Functions and switch the paper piercing on. That's really important that you do that bit too. So let's so we can group those squares together now. So let's multiple select part of the mat. Let's drag over that heart for now. And we're going to group all those together. So Object, Edit and Group. Right, now I want the heart. So the first thing we're going to do is put it in the middle of there, see if it's the right size. So we're going to multiple select everything that's on the mat, press OK, go to our alignment function and align it centrally vertically, centrally horizontally, press OK and tap the screen to release the shapes. So now it sees the squares on top of the heart, so we have to move that to make sure that that works. And I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. Let's take that down to 90. Right, so I want that one to be cutting only. So now I'm going to create outward offset lines. So we'll start with a 2 millimeter one. and that'll process that for you. And then the original stays selected. So we'll go in and we'll do, let's do 3 1/4 this time. So now we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to use our select arrows to get to those other 2 hearts, and we're going to set them as paper piercing. Let me just zoom in and see which one I've got. That's the middle one, the outside one, middle one. Okay, so we're going to set that as a piercing one and switch it on. And then we're going to go to the next one, which is the outside one, and put the paper piercing on that one. Okay, so we're all set up now. So to move it back, we're going to multiple select everything. While it's selected, we're just going to drag it to the top. Right, we're going to get this started, and then we're going to go and have a look at those downloads now. So we're going to load this in. So all you're going to do is take your blade housing out and pop in your needle tool. I prefer the 0.8 just because it gives me a deeper pierce so you can see it a little bit better. And then all we're going to do is keep pressing OK until we get to please select. Then we're going to scroll down to the bottom, click on pierce and press start. And it tells me it's going to take 8 minutes to do all that paper piercing, which means we've got time to go and look at these downloads. Have we sorted them, Hannah?
Diane is on it.
Diane's on it, perfect. Right, let's do the rest of the counter then while we're there. So, if you want your Steampunk, which is the one that we've been through, Shop Steampunk is going to get you that for $24.99. We also launched Spectacular Stencils Volume 2, and this was only a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks, I don't know, the time flies by in here. But this one is lovely as well. I think this is something that you could start to collect because you've got so many different designs and different themes and moods, if you like, that they'll all work together, but you can use them all separately as well. So you're going to get your birds in here, your little vase with your florals in. You've got your butterflies with your background. So if you wanted to do that with a paste and then use paint over the top or inks or whatever you want to do, you've got that ability. You've got a different rose in here, which is super pretty. You've got the bumblebee with the water lily and the honeycomb. You've got the lovely half-open daisy or gerbera, and you've got a beautiful little fairy there. Then we come on to your backgrounds. I love the fact that we've got a ladybird because that's super cute because you can add that to all sorts of other things. You've got your daisy in there as well. You've got your half-open daisy with the little bumblebee. Then you've got all your circles. Have you any idea how difficult it is to design something like that, where it looks right? If you've got too many pieces missing, it looks a bit odd. You've got to really work at designs like that. It's all done for you. This one you've got, I love that. I think that's super, super cool. If you've got the hot fix rhinestones that we also sell, they would be great for that. You've got like a hexagonal pattern in there. And then we go on to more movement. So you've got these wonderful swirls and flourishes. You've got your clouds in there. So if you're not good at drawing clouds or stippling your paintbrush to make clouds, you've got those in there. And then you've also got some leaf designs in the back. So that one is Shop SVG, $24.99. And then this one is our first one. I love this one. I cut every single stencil out on this out of Mylar. These are fabulous. And again, remember, resizing, but also if you just wanted that bit there, you could just have that bit there. If you wanted just the outside of it with a sentiment in the middle, you can do that, which is really cool. If you want a matte layer for it, you can make a matte layer for it. I'll show you how to do all this, or you've seen it in previous shows. Also, we have a club now for Scan and Cut. So at any point you can join the club. It's $29.99 for 3 months. So you get one class a month. Every month we're on class 2. We're about to film class 3, and that'll be your first ones. You get access to a closed Facebook group. You also get a unique email address where you send emails and we collate the emails and see and bespoke the classes through that, if that's what you want, if that's what you like. But for £10 a month, you also get an SVG download. It's well worth it. So if you want the first 3 months, even though we're part way in, you can still do that. It's scan 1, the word 1. We'll get you months 1 to 3. But we've also launched the second set. So if you want 4, 5 and 6, so that'll be June, July and August. It's Shop Scan 2, the word 2, and that will get you the second one. It's well worth joining that club because you'll pick up lots of hints and tips along the way. Right, let's have a look at some vinyl, shall we? Not vellum, Melanie, honestly, words. Right, we've got 30 12 by 12 sheets. Now, earlier on, I showed you how to bring on a stencil design, isolate certain areas, group them together so you can use multicolours in one go. Now, you're going to get slight variation in the colours that you get, but our team in the warehouse have been briefed that everybody will get some speciality ones like this. Aren't these fabulous? I don't think I've ever seen mirror vinyl before until we saw this. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Look at the red one on there. Stunning, isn't it? And then you've got some that are matte, you've got something that are glossy, and you've got some that look like chalkboard. They're properly matte. They're fabulous. And the scan and cut, if you haven't got your vinyl starter kit yet, it's out of stock at the moment, but we will be getting them back in. But it cuts vinyl beautifully, and you can go tiny. And I mean tiny, it's brilliant. So Shop Self is going to get you 30 sheets of 12 by 12. It's all right, Hannah, just come in. That's better. Now then, you see? That wasn't clear at all, was it?
No.
Were the wrong images on the wrong pages?
Yeah.
No, that's
so we
why.
just reprinted it and now it's sorted.
That's what threw us off, you see? Diane, if you need anything fixing, Diane. Right, so now I can't see some of the pictures.
You have to guess.
You have to guess, right? So what? Yeah, not say what you see. Say what you guess.
Put in the comments what you think it might be.
Yeah, put in the comments what you think it might be. Good shout. Now I've lost my doodahs. Right, Sharp Glam. It's going to get you. Wow, it's going well. It's going to get you 2 of the best wishes in a different style. You're also going to get your florals, and you've got a beautiful floral under here as well. You then get your bird houses, not your standy up bees, as Hannah calls them.
Oh, the
The
birdhouses.
birdhouses. Standy up bees.
Can
Can you imagine all these bees stood there like that, having the photograph taken? Let's make a stencil out of us, can't you? Then you've got Dragonfly. I tell you, you don't have to be mad to work here, but it really helps. Then you've got your Butterfly Flourish, and then you've got your Glam Shoe. Shop Glam, $12.99. Right, Shop Owl is going to get you this lovely Rose Flourish, the Rose Corner, the 2 different owls, the ivy wreath that's in the shape of a heart, which is lovely, your floral wreath.
And I was trying to explain it to Diane. I was explaining about the standy up bees, and she was like, "Can you just go and do the show, please?"
Is that what she said to you? Standy up bees. Then you've got the sunflower. You've got 2 borders on that one as well. And then this one with your corner is going to look absolutely beautiful. So Shop Owl will get you that one. Shop Glam will get you that one. And they're $12.99 each. Good grief. Honestly, how many crafters does it take to work out? There's a joke there somewhere in there. There has to be. There has to be. Right, now then, vellum. Got it back in stock. Thank goodness. So this isn't vellum, it's parchment. This is 280. GSM, so it's a really heavy weight. Now, when you're using your embossing starter kit, and we're hoping to get that back in stock soon as well because Brother are out of stock of all sorts of stuff at the moment. In that embossing starter kit, you get a very thin mat, and it looks like, and it goes on top of your sticky mat, it looks like a very thin layer of memory foam. And what you're going to do is put this directly onto that mat. You don't need any adhesive for this. And then it goes round and it embosses it. Now, what I've found over the years, if we use a lighter weight vellum or a really thin, inexpensive vellum, you can find that as the machine is putting pressure on it, even though it's a gentle pressure, it can go through that vellum and drag that foam mat that's underneath. And we don't want that. We don't want you to have to buy a new one. So I got a really, really heavyweight parchment because it's perfect for that tool. The other reason I asked for a really heavy weight is so you can use your water-based mediums on the back of it. So you can use your brush markers and things like that with your water-based pens. Because normally if you put water on parchment, it ends up doing that, buckles it. With this, because you're using a pen and a small area, it's perfect. So Shop Vellum is going to get you 6 sheets of that for $12.99. It's 280 GSM. Right, I'm going to talk to you about the foiling kit next. So if you've got a foiling kit and you're after more pens, these are brilliant. And the reason, and I've tried different pens in there, none of them work the way that these work. I know it looks like a quickie glue pen. It's got a different ball in the top of it. And what that does, it keeps that flow going, because sometimes you can find that it will split, it'll work and then it'll stop and then it'll work. This has got that consistent flow through it. It's also got the numbers 1 to 4. So you'll see where the glue is blue there. It's got the numbers down there. It will prompt you to tell it what level the pen is at, so that it knows whether you've got enough glue in that pen to finish that design. It's that clever. Okay, so if you want extra ones of those, shop glue, $9.99. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. This is one of the wreaths from the tattered lace. How pretty is that foiled and then cut out? I'm going to show you how to do this next. Then in your foiling kit, you will get another activation code that gives you all those different designs. You'll also get a little tool that your pen goes in, because it doesn't go in your universal pen holder, it goes in your foiling pen holder. And you also get a couple of little burnishes that go at the bottom. So I'll show you that. You then get a blue mat that you add some tape on and you put it over the top. So all of that comes included in your kit. And the code is shopfoil43.99. So it's a great one to have. If you haven't got one of those yet, I would highly recommend it, because it just gives you another aspect to be able to work with, which is super, super cool. Right, let's have a look at this paper piercing now, so you can see now how pretty. Oh my word, look at that. How pretty is that? Look at that heart. That's stunning. Don't forget, now we've got a few of these left, okay? There's quite a lot sold through today, but we've got a few left. Now, I wasn't expecting this stock that we're selling today to be in for another 4 weeks, but brother managed to find some more. They're not held as a stock item in this country. So once this stock's gone, you're going to have a wait. Now, I told you that it can cut on here, didn't I? But there's a little trick to it. So first of all, we're going to get that out. And we're going to put the blade back in. Now this is different to the way that it cuts normally, and it does it in short bursts. Stop, short bursts, stop, short bursts, stop. And that's so it doesn't damage that piercing mat, and so that you can actually cut on that surface. That heart looks so pretty. And you know what? This might be all you ever use them for, just creating that detail on your cards. It's fabulous, isn't it? I love it. So when we do please select and cut now, remember we had that aperture on the inside and the cut on the outside. All we're going to do now is press start, and you'll watch it and you'll see that it'll cut in short bursts. Either just then take a pair of scissors and just snip those pips, and then you get that really nice, clean and fresh finish. If you wanted to, you can push them out. It takes a little bit of card off the back, but nobody's going to see it. Right, we're very limited on shop paper. They've been selling throughout the show, throughout the shows. Wow. Okay, that's massive. Okay, I thought we had about 20 units left. We haven't, have we?
We've got 3.
Wow, 3. All going on today, isn't it? We've got 3. Literally an hour ago, we had 20. People have come in from work. We've now got 3. You need to check out those baskets, please. But I love this. I love the fact that we can get that pin dot detail. Can you see it's doing a little scallop at a time? You can get that pin dot detail on your projects now, something that as a scan and cut user, we haven't been able to do. Now, this isn't brand new. This kit's been out a while, but we've been featuring it quite heavily over the last few weeks because we brought it in and you loved it. Please remember, this is SDX only, okay? Works on all SDXs, doesn't matter whether it's the tattered lace one, the 1200, the Disney, whichever, it will work on all of them. But what a lovely way of adding extra detail into your card making. I think it's fabulous. And I love the fact that you can add that pin dot detail now. And it could be a word, it could be a background. So all those patterns, you know, when I said we're building up this library of patterns and you can put any pattern in any panel on any card, you can also do it with your paper piercing now as well. So let me unload this so that I can show you this. Now I am going to take it out with a pair of scissors just round the edge, and you see it's cut there and then there's a little pip. It's cut again there and there's a little pip. So you do have to do this little bit of extra work, but it takes seconds, you know what? And it's worth it just to get that nice finish. The line's already there. It's just like snipping into one of your die cuts now. You know, with all those detail lines, this is exactly the same now. You can do that if you prefer, but you will find in certain areas, usually in the middle, that it will tear that card a little bit, but on the back, not on the front, so you don't see it anyway. So me, being me, I'll be doing this because I'm not bothered about what that bit looks like. And then when you come to this, we're just going to gently pop this out like that. I've got a little bit there that's just being a monkey. And we're just going to pet this. Are you all right, Hannah?
I just haven't seen this done, man.
Have you not? How cool is this? Isn't it? I know, it's really good. Now I've got a little bit there that's just going to annoy me, so I'm going to get rid of that. Look how beautiful that is. Now that's your card front. Isn't that stunning? I think it's absolutely delightful. And if you haven't got it, you need to put it in your basket. And if you have got it, you need to check your basket out because we've gone from 20 to 3, literally in the space of an hour. Okay, so well done if you've been doing that. Now we also get a lot of people shopping ahead now in the morning. So just be aware of that as well. I don't want to scare you into buying anything, but that's the reality. Right, I'm going to take one of the files from the tattered lace designs, and I'm going to show you how you can set it to part foil and part cut or part emboss, whichever you prefer. And it's a lovely process, this, because you just go into Canvas Workspace. It's super easy, and you just set specific lines to what you want them to do. So let's bring on the wreath, I think. So let's go into new, because we're starting a new design. Your pattern collections will always be at the top before you click new. So if you're looking for your patterns, I've had a few people recently said, I can't find the designs that I've activated. Go into the pattern collection at the top, they will be there. And then once you've activated that code, it will allow you to download them. So it's super easy, but you can also view in there. So if you've got like the Disney ones, etc., the Disney cards, the design cards, you can see what's on them. Right, so I'm going to import this from my USB. Or have I already got it? I've already got it, I think. Let's go into my projects and have a look. I'm sure I've saved it. Yes, I did. Right, okay. So I'm going to get rid of some of these bits because I want to show you from the beginning. So let's get rid of that one, and let's get rid of this one. Go on, I know you're there. Oh, grab you. There you are, delete. Right, so this is the file as we import it in. I'll zoom in a bit and then you can see it a bit better. There we go. Right, so what I want to do, first of all, is I want to set this as a drawing only line because I want it to foil, not cut. So first thing I'm going to do a few little extra bits first and see where we get. So I'm going to duplicate this. And I like to duplicate it a couple of times because otherwise you've got to either re-import it or you've got to go back. And we don't want to be doing that. We just want to get on with it. Right, bear with that one and that one. Right, so this is the one I'm going to keep as it is. All right, so we can move that over to that side. The first thing I want to do is create a matte layer for that to sit on top of, because this is going right now is going to cut into your cardstock. And I want it to cut out of your cardstock, give you another option. And I did this earlier, I've done this a few times with you now, but it's always worth repeating stuff because we get new people buying scan and cuts all the time. So what we're going to do is go to edit, and we're going to create a 2mm outward offset line. So 2mm outward and delete the original. That's why I duplicate it, because if you don't delete that one, then trying to get hold of all the pieces is a nightmare. So delete it, duplicate it and delete it. Now it looks like somebody's dropped a load of jelly beans in a pile, doesn't it? But actually it's all those pieces. So all those individual pieces, it's increased the circumference of those by 2mm all the way around that outside edge. So the first thing we're going to do is go to edit, and we're going to weld those pieces together. Now if it comes up and says can't do it, you need to move a line like that. You go back, and instead of doing a 2mm, let's try a 3mm, okay? Because there might be something in there that doesn't like it at 2mm, but it does at 3. So just keep trying. And then we're going to do this one. We'll do 3mm outward, delete the original, and fingers crossed this one will work. And it doesn't matter if you go bigger, because you can always make it smaller afterwards by creating an inward offset. So we'll do edit and weld. Let's see if that one works. That's taking a bit longer. That looks promising. So we've got this one. You'll see that blue and black bar going across the top. Right, now then, if I want that to be 2mm rather than 3mm, I'm going to go up to edit, and I'm going to create a 1mm inward offset line and delete the original. And this is why I like to duplicate it, because then I've got enough pieces to be able to do this with. Right, so we've got all of these pieces now, so we can set one as a drawing and one as a cutting. However, I had to play around earlier on, and I thought, I wonder if I can get a 1mm inward offset line out of this in some places, not in all of them, but it'll give me a little bit more cut detail. I didn't do this one on the sample, but I wanted to show you this. So if we go to edit and we create, or try and create, a 1mm inward offset line and delete the original. Okay, this is what it gives me. Now, some of those pieces are far too tiny and it will never cut them. But as you download it for Canvas Workspace, it will delete anything that it can't cut. So you don't need to worry about that bit because it does it automatically. Now, I'm also going to go into properties because 1mm might be a little bit too tight. So I'm going to go in and I am going to increase that. Instead of 135.2, I'm going to increase it to 135.4. Just make it that slight bit bigger, which means it will also be closer to this edge. So you'll get more of an open area. Right, so first of all, this is going to be a cutting file. So we go to properties and we set it as a, so right now the line type is cutting or drawing. So whether I press cut or draw on the machine, it will do both. I want to set that as a cutting only line, okay? So I'm going to close that down, so that's now set as a cutting line. I'm going to do exactly the same thing with that one. Go into properties at the top and set it as a cutting only line, okay? So that's dealt with. Nothing changes on your screen, but it's just, you'll know when you download it. And then this one, I'm going to set in properties as a drawing only line. Okay, so I've got that one there. So now when I ask it to draw or foil, it'll draw that. It'll then cut that and cut that. So to put them all together, we're going to select all and we're going to align them centrally vertically and centrally horizontally, like that. There you go. So you've now got all three layers in one. So you've got two cutting layers and you can see all the little elements inside those petals, and is now your second cut line. Right, so I'm going to download this. Now I've got to download it to USB at the moment because I've got too many machines linked to my Canvas account and it won't let me delete any of them, so I'm waiting on brother. But it's a good thing to show you because not everybody has a Wi-Fi enabled machine. So it's telling you that some of the elements will be automatically removed when converted to an FCM file, and that's because when it imports it, even if it imports it as an SVG, it exports it in its own file format. So this time I'm going to download it to the PC, and this is a good thing to learn anyway, because if your Wi-Fi ever goes down, you can still use your scan and cut. So I'm going to go up here and it'll be the top one, and I'm going to click on that little folder and it's going to open that up for me. Now I could have titled it on the main page, but I can also title it here. So if I right click and I go to rename, we can rename that 3 layers or layered wreath. Okay, so I now have a name for that file. Click off it like that, and then you're going to right click again. So click on it and then right click, and you go, come on, pooters. Click on that, right click, send to, and then we're going to send it to the USB. Now, a USB is going to go in here, so it's going to open this up first. I think I need a new laptop because everything's starting to go a bit dodgy on this one. So that'll be my next purchase. There's always something, isn't there? Either your washer, your dryer, your cooker, your vacuum, kettle, there's always something. Right, so let's do that process. Oh, let's just go back up to downloads here and use that one that we've already done. So where is that? 1 minute ago. Okay, let's put that one. Right, come on, there you go. It's just timing it. I'm like, come on, hurry up. Right, 3 layered wreath, right click, send to. USB, there you go, USB. Right, and then you need to eject that USB safely. So don't look at me now because I'm going to do this whip it out of there. because I'm really bad for that, but I ain't got time. Right, so let's talk about this foiling. We are going to do a little bit of this, and there's a couple of hints and tips. These have actually come from customers who've messaged me and gone, this is happening. How do I make this not happen, basically? So we had a lovely lady called Kath, and she's saying that when she's burnishing, when it's she's doing foiling on her scan and cut, she can't then get the card off the mat. So you need to use a mat that's not as sticky, certainly not a freshly retacked one or a brand new mat. And the reason for that is when it burnishes, it's putting that pressure on that card and it's going to bond it to your mat. The other trick that I've come up with is to put it a little bit further down than the top, especially if you're doing foiling and cutting. That's really important, because if you don't, you have to cut first and then foil, because you've got to unload the mat to be able to put the mat for the foiling on. It'll all make sense in a minute. Maybe. So, burnishing. You've got your little holder here, and you've got your pen, and it's different to the one that comes with some of the machines because it's got this little metal bezel at the top. Mine's on number 2 now, so I'm just going to get that ink flowing through. That's the tip, because sometimes if you've had it in there, it can just get like a little skin form over the top, and we need to make sure that that's not happening. So let's press home. Actually, I'm going to save that because I really like that. I'm going to save that onto my USB. So once you've done something like this once, you can then save it and you don't need to do it again. So I'd spend a day just designing all sorts of layouts like that. I love it. I love doing stuff like that. Even if you sat in canvas in front of watching us on the YouTube. Always makes me laugh though when people say, I went to the Asda. It just makes me smile. I don't know why. It's obviously like certain areas of the country that do it, and it just makes me smile. Right, so we're going to retrieve the information from the USB, and we're going to find that file that says, fingers crossed, we're going to find that file that says, anything could happen today. Where am I? Wreath, cut, and I don't think it was that one, was it? Please tell me so.
3-layered wreath.
3-layered wreath. There we are. Thanks, Becky. You know, when you look at the screen and the number letters go like that, it's one of them days. Right, so what you can see now is you've got blue and you've got black. So if I zoom in for you, you'll be able to see this really clearly. The blue lines are the drawing lines, the black lines are the cutting lines. So I'm going to move this across. I'm going to select all of it first of all, and I'm going to move it over here, because I've got that gap now at the bottom as well. So I'm going to give myself plenty of space. And then I'm going to get it to draw this. I'm going to get it to draw it. So I'm going to burnish this down. And this is the tricky bit, getting it in there, because the mat isn't super sticky. And this is a heavyweight cardstock, but we'll get there. So we're going to load this in, and you'll see when I go to press draw, only the blue lines will appear, and this is super clever. Now on your CM machine, it will draw from the bottom up, okay, so that those static rollers there don't go through the glue and you end up ruining your design. On an SDX, if you haven't already done it, it will prompt you to lift that lever. We're going to press OK, and then we're going to ask it to draw. So please select and draw, and then we'll just press start. So no, that's not what I want. I want foil. Sorry, I get confused with those two because they're both the same thing. Right, I'm going to make it down to number 2 because that's where my glue level is. We're going to press OK, and we're going to press start. Okay, and then we're going to get it to do that drawing for us. And then we'll go back. Once we've foiled it, we'll go back and then we'll do the cutting. So it's important. The reason that you're moving your card further down is so that you have a place to, have I lost my mat now? Where's it gone? Oh, it's here. Wick. That was a bit scary, wasn't it? At least there's no masking tape under there. No, there isn't. You're going to tape this over the top. So you're going to put your foil on. You're going to wait for your glue to go completely clear. Put your foil on top. And then this goes on top with a piece of tape across it. Now, if you don't move your card further down, you've got to unload the mat to be able to get that on. So we're thinking ahead. We're always working a couple of steps ahead to make sure that we get what we want. So this is a great opportunity to get all those brand new SVG files, and you can do so many different things. And I was playing around in Canvas before, just thinking about, right, what if I want to put one of the designs in a corner but I haven't got a corner shape. And this is the joy of having something like a scan and cut. Well, I'm going to say specifically a scan and cut, because you can't do this with all machines. There's different levels of machines out there. Some that say they're an auto blade when actually it's a drop-down menu. So you do your research and decide which is for you. I can't recommend a scan and cut enough. It's brilliant. It's completely changed the way that I craft. And a lot of it is the built-in product projects that you get. You get Project Canvas, where there's loads of free ones with all the cutting files. And Brother just get it. They get it because they do sewing, embroidery machines, sublimation printers. They get technology, but they also get how to make it easy. So let me just show you this while we're waiting for that to do, because this was really cool. So if I go into my basic shapes, and we're going to create like a corner, but with a curve. So if you wanted to put one of the patterns from one of the stencils in that corner, this is how you could do it. So you can either start with a square if you want to, or you can start with a triangle. It's entirely up to you. Let's do a square, and we're going to bring in an oval. So let me find my oval in here, there, like that. Okay. Now, first of all, I want to rotate that so it's on an angle. So I want to rotate it like that, and then I'm going to stretch it, and I'm going to make it really wide like this. I can make it deeper if I want to, depending on the angle that I want that corner to be. And then all we're going to do, and we're going to rotate it a little bit more now. So put it in line, and what you want is the bottom edge and the top edge to hit the corners. So you've got to be quite specific. I'm going to try there, see if that'll work, and move this over there like that. So I've got this part here touching the edge, and I've got that part there touching the corner. Now if I select both of those, you've got options. So let's go through each of them and show you what it does. If I subtract, let's see what subtract does. There you go, there's your corner. How cool is that? It's brilliant that, isn't it? So that, what that's going to do, now I've got a little piece there. So if I undo it, because I've got a little corner there, can you see? You've got an undo button. And that is because this bit there has left that little triangle in the middle. So we're going to click on that oval, and we're just going to stretch it out, but we're going to stretch it from that point this time. So this stays where it is. Just adjust that back into there. Then we're going to grab both of those, and we're going to subtract. So edit and subtract, and that gives you a corner. So not only can you divide shapes, which is the same as compounding. So the reason that our cutting files don't work for all cutting machines out there, and there's a reason. So something like Cricut, for example, if it took that shape and that it was a stencil, it would put the rectangle there, and then it would put all the pieces in lines like that, because it needs a file that's been what they call compounded. So you need to import a file that it sees as one piece. Now, if we do that with all our files, all those amazing patterns and doilies and stencils and all those amazing tattered lace ones that we bring you, you can't get to the middle bit, because the middle bit is attached to the outside edge. And we can do that in Canvas Workspace with the button that's called Divide. So we don't need the graphic designer to do it, because if they do it, it takes all that creativity away for scan and cut users, and there's no way we're doing that. So that's why we don't sell our USBs or our downloads for all different machines, because it doesn't work the same. And I don't want anybody who's spent the money on a scan and cut, on my say-so, my recommendation, to end up going, well, now I can't do what she said I could do because they don't save the files that way. It's really annoying that. If you want to buy an SVG file, you want it to be able to do all these different things. Right, so what you can see now is right down here we're nice and clear. Now that glue's gone clear. We've got a little bit of blue at the top. Now, rather than unloading the mat, just get a piece of card and give it a quick waft. All right, don't put a heat gun anywhere near it, because that won't do your mat any good. And just give it a waft until that glue has gone completely clear. Okay, so let's get our foil now. Now you can use any foil, not kitchen foil, obviously. I know, but there'll be somebody out there going, oh, you said you could use all kinds of foil, I can't use this. You know what it's like out there online. So anything but kitchen foil. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter whether it's foil for a toner printer, which is this, a laser printer, whether it's heat reactive foil, doesn't matter. It will stick to adhesive. Okay, that's all you need to know. So I'm going to take a bit of this foil. This is the tattered lace one. And the way that I do it is I dip it in the middle like that, hoping that I've cut it big enough, she says, holding her breath. And then just give it a press down. And then this is where this blue mat comes in. All right, so we're going to put this over here so it comes slightly higher up, which is why we left that space. And then we're going to take a piece of low tack masking tape and we're going to put that across there. If it gets to a stage where your tape needs changing, please change it, don't risk it, because the last thing you want is that wrapped around your rollers. So make sure you're using a piece of masking tape that's low tack, but please make sure it's burnished down properly. We're going to take this out now and we're going to press that silver button there and we're going to pull that pen out, lid straight on, and it clicks into place. Then we're going to take this little tool. Now you get 2 of these, they're exactly the same. You just get 2 in case you lose one. And all you're going to do is push that in from that end. And then this is going to burnish. So we're going to push that down. We're going to press OK because we've finished that bit. We go to please select. And now we do the foil 2. Foil 2, foil. So this is the foil bit. Gives you instructions of exactly what to do. So if you forget, they're on the screen, which is brilliant, because if they were written down, I'd have lost where they were written. And then you'll see this. And what it's going to do now is it's going to burnish that foil onto that glue. So they don't just go rub over it with your scraper. It literally burnishes it for you. It's super clever. And this is one of the reasons why you don't use a super sticky mat when you're doing this. You keep it with a lighter tack. Keep your card burnished down, you can do that, but this is now going to burnish that. And then when this is finished, I know we're going to run out of time, but all I'm going to do is press cut, and it will then go ahead and cut the outside edge, the inside aperture, and all those little pieces in between. And it looks amazing, and it's all done with your Scan and Cut. It's fabulous. And you can do it with lots and lots and lots of different designs as well, which is fun. You could also, if you wanted to, do a drawing line and do the foil inside. So if you've got your hearts like this, you could have your cut line, your piercing line, another drawing line that would go in the middle of there, and then another piercing line around the outside edge. So you can build it up. You could put a drawn faux stitch line somewhere in there if you wanted to, because you can do that in Canvas Workspace. In fact, let me show you how you do that. So let me let's just bring on a circle, for example. So if you want that, and we want a faux stitch line. So first thing I'm going to do is edit, and this time I'm going to create a 1mm inward offset line, but I'm going to keep the original because it's just a single shape. So 1mm inward and leave the original as is. And then I'm going to press, oh, now I can set it now as a drawing line in here as well. Okay, so the original, no, I don't want that, do I? I want the original even like that. So I'm going to press OK. So I've now got 2 that are very close together. Clicking on the inside one, go into your properties, and down here at the bottom it says dash pattern. You can set that to any of these faux stitching. This is the one I tend to use more than any other, but you've got different options in there. So then when you do this, you're going to have a drawn line that will do your faux stitching, and your cut line, which will cut exactly 1mm outside of that. It's super cool. There's so many different things that you can do. Now, the trick is when you get to this stage, don't unload the mat. That's important. And then when I peel this back, look how beautiful that is. And it's perfect. And then you've still got this. So get yourself a sheet of double-sided adhesive. We sell it on liveshopping.vip under Jamie Rogers. He has double-sided adhesive. Put that on there, burnish it down, and then you can always sprinkle glitter or another piece of foil where you've got that sticky area left. But how fabulous is that? So now all I do is take this out. I haven't moved anything. My cutting file and my foiling file are all in one. So now I can go, please select and cut, and start, and it will go ahead and cut all that out for me now. It's fabulous, isn't it? And if you're in the market for a Scan and Cut, we've got a couple of options for you that I'll run through for you now. We've got this machine back in stock at $4.99. Then you get your discount off that. You get your points put back on. So work that out depending on what tier you're in for points. We've got the tattered lace one on a crazy deal at $2.99. Then you get your discount. Then you get your points put on. You're also going to get the cutting files for our latest shaped cards. So these 4 patterns. So you've got your Muria card. Look at that, isn't that fabulous? Love that. So you get the SVG files for these with the matte layers, and they're all scalable. You get, oh, bear with, wrong inside out, there you go. You get your swing card and all the mats and layers. You also get your corner fold card, which is really cool. Love that. I think that as an invitation would be fabulous. And then also you've got your block card in there that can also work as a pop-up. So you get all 4 of those as SVG files, and you get a £15 download voucher to spend on our website. But to get a tattered lace, an SDX under £300 is unheard of. To get it under £300 with your club discount, plus your loyalty points, no shipping, and those extra downloads and files is amazing. So you can see now, if we just come in just before we finish, it's gone all the way around the outside edge. It's now cutting all those little landlocked areas. So it's going to put a detail in there, and in there, and in there. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I cannot praise this enough. It's even known that this is 360 GSM cardstock, so it's increased the cutting time to 10 minutes, because it'd rather cut it twice, gently, than cut it once and ruin your piece of card. It's so intuitive, it's brilliant. If you ever get a piece like that that's just popped out, just pause it, take your blade out, unscrew it, make sure that it hasn't picked that little piece up, either in there, look at that, there you go, all the fluff, or in there, because if that gets stuck on the top of the blade, it will stop cutting, and then just press start again. So you've even got that function. If you think, oh no, I need it to stop, you can stop it at any time. It's just fabulous. Right, I'll show you that in the morning, because Stephanie and I are back at 8 o'clock in the morning with our latest tattered lace from the archive offering. So the contents are 4 tattered lace USBs with SVG files on. Well, wait till you see the price in the morning. It's crazy value. So Stephanie and I will be with you at 8 o'clock. We've then got, oh, what have we got at 9, Hannah? Can't remember. 9 o'clock is
I know there's soap making.
soap making at 10, I think. Mark's in from Silvar tomorrow as well. Hopefully he'll be bringing new stuff, which will be exciting. So we will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to check out those baskets, especially if you've got that paper piecing tool in, because if we did 17 in an hour when we weren't on air, that's telling you that it's a popular product, and we will not be getting that back in for a few weeks. If you want it, get it in your basket, check out. There are ways to split the payments on our website as well. You've got PayPal Pay in 3, Klarna and ClearPay. You make your decision, and I'll see you in the morning. Have a lovely evening.